So Kelly, tell us, if somebody's looking to move into a community shortly, what are some of the options that they need to be considering when they're trying to choose a place to live?
Oh, sure, definitely. So what they need to be considering are, what are their needs? What are their preferences and wants? What's most important? What location do they want to be in? And what does their budget or finances look like? And just in relation to their needs, do they have a need for assistance with showering? Do they need help getting dressed? Do they need help with medication administration or just reminders for medications?
Okay.
Are they physically unable to get up out of a chair? They need help with transferring. Or maybe somebody with cognitive impairment needs reminders, or they might even need a secured environment if they're wandering or exit seeking.
Okay. So I imagine that's all because we've got independent living, we have assisted living, and we have like memory care. So we want to know which one of those types of communities is going to best suit their needs.
Exactly. So that'll really help them figure out which type of community will fit those needs.
Okay.
And then they're going to kind of want to narrow it down from there. What preferences and wants do they have? Are they wanting to be in a larger space or a smaller space in relation to the community size? Do they feel comfortable in a community that has 30 apartments or 200 apartments? Do they want to be in an apartment that's a 2-bedroom apartment that's 1,000 square feet? Or is it somebody that just doesn't mind being in a studio setup where it's a smaller setting? And also looking at whether they have pets. Do they have pets that they want to bring? And if so, is that a community that's welcoming of pets? And aesthetically, are they comfortable in a newer, updated community? Or maybe they've lived in a home that was built in the 1950s that they would be fine if it were a little bit dated. So like what is that comfort level and what is preferable for them? And if they're social, obviously we want to make sure they're in a setting where there's a lot of activities going on, where they're around people that they can enjoy sharing life with. So yeah, just figuring out what their preference is.
Okay.
And then from there, looking at their finances. What is their income currently?
So now this is the big one. Looking at finances, I know for most people, because it's not cheap to live in some of these places.
Yeah, correct. So, and most of the seniors that I work with are living in their home that they've paid off, and so they're living off of their income. So meeting with them, looking at what that income is and what assets we may or may not have to draw from to help them to be able to afford to make this move. A lot of them don't realize that living at home also entails other costs of just keeping up the home. So we're looking at the whole gamut of, you know, what are you paying to live at home now? What can you afford when you're moving to a community? What's included in that community already? And then is it affordable now? And then will it be affordable 1 or 2 or 3 years from now for you?
Okay.
And if not, how long will your assets, if you have assets, last in that community? And when recommending options, if they have current care needs, we want to make sure they're in a community that if they will outlive their resources, will they be able to spend down to Medicaid in that community?
Gotcha.
Yeah. And if they're not able to afford to make the move financially based on their current income, and if they don't have assets, then we're recommending financial resources for them, whether veterans income or a Medicaid funding somehow.
Okay.
Yeah. And then also just looking at what location they want to be in. Do they want to remain in the same general area where they live now, where their current residence is, or do they want to move closer to family or friends, or maybe even closer to their health care if their doctor's somewhere farther away?
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
So if somebody's contemplating a move today, is there just 1 or 2 things you could give us really quick that they should really be thinking about? A couple of tips.
Yeah, definitely just to figure out what that criteria is and to get out to see those options so that you can figure out which of those options is the best option for you. Obviously, with this segment, learning what a senior living advisor can provide you and using a senior living advisor to maybe help you narrow down those options. So many of the clients, like we mentioned earlier, wait until their bodies kind of make that decision for them,
Right.
and they are unable to make that decision for themselves. So just putting a plan in place that helps them with making that transition sooner rather than later. We hear over and over and over again when clients move into communities, you know, I wish I would have done this sooner.
Right. Great. Thank you so much, Kelly.
Thank you.